What's up, y'all? How we doing? The Shaman of Shank back in business, video 6. We're going to keep it rolling. And today, I've got a big boy for you. I know I say that pretty much every video except for the last one with the old Bandito. But today is Big Boy Tuesday. And with that being said, this knife is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Whenever I said that in the past video about the CQC8, like if there was somebody gave me a choice of a knife, if I was out in the wilderness on my own and I could choose one knife to take with me, you know, I definitely hyped up the CQC8, and I still feel that way and always will feel that way. But as I said, there's other ones in my collection that I would feel comfortable being in that scenario with, and that knife, along with the CQC8, is, drumroll, the massive and demanding and commanding Super Commander. Now that's a knife. That is a big boy. And let me tell you, I owned a mini Commander before I took the step up to the Super. I've never owned a regular Commander, regular size Commander. And to be honest with you, after having and holding this, I really think, to be honest with you, I'm going to stay in that Super sweet spot, because this is it. And like I said, if you do not like large knives, this is not the knife for you, and that's okay. They have a micro, they got the mini, they got the regular, and of course they got the Super. And they also got, I believe, the Uber or UBR, which is hardly ever made or in stock, but it's bigger than this, believe it or not. Bigger than this. This bad boy is coming in at 4 inches in the blade straight up, overall length of 9.5 inches, 6 ounces of weight. But to be honest with you, it does not feel that heavy. It doesn't. This knife, when I first bought it and I pulled it out of the box, I looked at it and I was like, dang, that's a big knife. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna want to carry this as an EDC. But I stuck to it. I put it in my pocket. I said, I'm gonna really put this thing through the paces. I'm really gonna carry it and see what it's all about. And I did, and I fell in love. I mean, and like I said, big knives really aren't a problem for me in my pocket, but this one, it really, to be honest with you, I mean, now I will say the weight is something. If you're not wearing like a nice fitting pair of shorts or jeans with a belt, you know, if you're just wearing like some gym shorts or some like elastic band shorts, this bad boy is going to pull them down. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, and I'm speaking from my experience on it. I mean, it's pretty aggravating. I'll go to you know, the grocery store and be wearing like, you know, some elastic band, you know, shorts, and I'll have this in my pocket, and I'm like sitting there pulling my pants up going through the store, you know. But hey, you know, you got to prepare for what you carry, and this is definitely not for gym shorts or anything that, you know, is going to be loose fitting on your waist, because when you have your keys, your wallet and all that, and you can throw this bad boy in the mix, you're going to be showing some butt crack, okay? Unless, you know, you really you know, you just tie them bad boys up with a drawstring. But absolutely beautiful. And as you see, this one is in the Thunderstorm finish, which I am in love with. Now, I've never been really a colored blade kind of guy. I do have the Appalachian. One of my Appalachians is a black finish. I don't believe they do that anymore with Emerson, but I do have that. And there's a story behind that, and I'll definitely, when I review that knife, I'll tell you about that. But I've never been a colored blade kind of guy. But when I saw this Thunderstorm finish, because I also have the mini, like I said, mini Commander in the same finish, Thunderstorm, and I loved it. And it just, I mean, like I said, I'll review the mini Commander on its own, because it really deserves to have its own review. But I just, to me personally, touching on the mini Commander, like I said, I like my big EDCs, and I said, I really am curious about going bigger with this style of knife, because, and boy, am I glad I did, because this knife is an absolute force. I mean, this thing demands your attention, and it demands to be used. It commands you, man. It's the Super Commander. And let me tell you something, this recurve blade is amazing. And I'm not telling you anything that hasn't been said before. I'm just telling you what I feel and my experience with it. But it is amazing, man. I don't know. When I first got into Emerson, I saw this blade design, and it really didn't stand out to me. But, you know, as I've evolved in, you know, Emerson and stuff, I just kind of appreciate more of their designs, you know. But it is super functional. Sharpening it, of course, can be a bit of a task, but not bad. Not bad. You can't overthink it, in my experience. I'm not no skilled master sharpener, but I mean, I actually, in one video, I'll probably talk about it too. I'll have to break it out. I have the Work Sharp angle kit. which is pretty efficient. Not, I mean, you really have to eyeball this with it. You really have to take your time on that recurve, or kind of split it up in like two different sections from what I do, and it's pretty efficient. But it's better if, like, I also have the who even makes this? I forgot, the Ultimate Edge. You can get this on the Emerson website. This was my I've had a sharpening stone in the past for like my bucks, but I got this especially for my Emersons. I figured it would be, efficient with them selling it on their website. But I got it, and it is efficient. I mean, but it's one of those tools that you just, I need to put a quick little edge on this thing and get back to work. It's nothing like you're sitting down and refining and getting a hair splitting edge on this thing, but it does work. It does well. But aside from that, guys, beautiful knife. Ergonomics, do I even have to say anything? And it fits like a glove in the hand. And like I said, I do not have large hands, guys, and it fits great. This would accommodate any size of the hands, but it's amazing. And like I said, this blade is so utilitarian, so tactical, and it is great. It really is great. And got to give a shout out to Collis. Got a bad boy eagle on there, and I said that just fits a Super Commander, because this bad boy is a commanding mofo, dude. You'd pull this bad boy out around somebody that don't know anything about Emerson or anything about knives in general, and they're like, "Oh, Blue, take my money. It's okay, take it." I'm like, "Calm down, man. I'm just opening up my package, Holmes." But it is awesome, guys. I'm trying to think. Another cool fact about this knife is, and I'm kind of surprised, is like of course, the Commander is really, to be honest with you, in my opinion and from my research, really what kind of set Emerson off, like in a main market, because this is the knife that originally, it brought the wave to life. Evidently from a story, just listening to, podcast and Emerson Talk, they actually, he was creating this knife, and at the time, I believe they wanted some type of hand guard right here. And like I said, I'm not saying anything that has been said in any other video. I'm just touching on it, whatever. But, they wanted something to protect from sliding to go up on your hand. And he gave some prototypes to some Navy SEALs. They used it, and they called him up and said, "Hey, man, this thing's deploying when we pull it out of our pocket, man. It's amazing." And there you go, the Emerson Wave. And this is the knife that it originated on. And really, what's another good origination story is this knife, the Super Commander, not the regular Commander. This knife is actually true to size of what was called then the ES1-M, or ES1M, however you want to say it. But that was the original make of the knife that he made for the Navy SEALs that later on became the Commander. But this is actually the 9.5 open, fully open size is the actual length of the ES1M. So I thought that was pretty cool. It looks like they would have just made the Commander, but I guess, this is, the Commander's kind of that sweet spot, I guess, for people, like, if you want a bigger blade, but, you're not trying to go the full 4-inch like this bad boy did, it's a good option. But this is the official size of the original prototype make of the knife that is the Commander. And I think that's a pretty cool fact. And man, oh man, this knife just feels like you just want to like get out, run through the jungle, feeling like straight Rambo, like going at it. I mean, look at that. I mean, just looking at it from the video, I mean, that is a crucial looking knife, crucial. And I really don't have anything bad to say about it, other than, of course, not preparing or having the right pants on when you carry this knife, because it is hefty. It is hefty, but when opened, it's so balanced. Like, it is so balanced. And to be honest with you, this is one of the smoothest non-bearing running Emersons I have. I mean, you can just, I barely even touch it. Well, that's a bad example. I barely even touch it, and it just flicks right out. I mean, just like majority of Emersons, but it feels different. I guess it's the weight of that blade. Like, it just like comes out like butter. Like, you just feel like it's a match made in heaven. It's so nice, guys. And this knife has been phenomenal. I carried this knife EDC for a long time, and I still do. It's still in the rotation, but perfectly centered. And that pivot has not moved, not one single bit. Hadn't even touched it. And I've had this knife for about 1.5 years, and it has been a solid hog molly. And like I said, the blade cleans up so great. Great knife, wonderful knife. I'm trying to think if there's anything else for me to say about this knife. I mean, of course, majority of the stuff I'm going to say about it, if you're an Emerson fan, you probably already know, but I'm just giving you my thoughts. Like I said, this is my channel. I'm just talking about it. But this knife actually won best overall knife, I believe, at the Blade Show in Atlanta back in 2000. I may be wrong on that, early 2000s. very early 2000s, late 90s. But yeah, it did win that. And like I said, it really put Emerson like on the map and really opened some eyes to, wow, okay, these are pretty cool. But an amazing knife, guys. And like I said, if you don't like big knives, I mean, it's a given. It's a super commander. I mean, come on. I mean, you can see the stats on it and the specs on it on the website, and you know that's a big knife. But it feels so good, guys. Like, and you think that like a 4-inch blade, nearly a 10-inch length, you know, and coming in at 9.5 would be a crazy presence in your pocket. It really isn't. I mean, it's relatively thin in the handle, relatively thin. I mean, you know, it's really not that big of a task to carry it in your pocket, given that you're wearing like a pair of jeans or a belted, you know, shorts or pants. But great knife, and like I said, the utility of that blade is just phenomenal. If you're cutting rope, you know, you got that little valley down there in the recurve, you can just put that rope down there, pull it, and that little hill right there just pops it like that, popping zip ties. I personally, and why I kind of gravitate toward more of the CQ-C8 or a Bowie, it's like I just like to have more of a wedge on that tip, because I mean, it does have a good tip on it, guys, don't get me wrong, but I just like more of a pointy knife. You know what I mean? More of a pointy knife, like a drop point, or like I said, a Bowie. But this knife is amazing, and I am not afraid to use this knife for anything I want. Like, I mean, I really do. I carry this knife with me when I go on trips. Even if I have, like, you know, what I'm mainly carrying, I always bring my Super Commander with me in the kit. I bring my Super Commander always. I bring my Buck 110 whenever I go fishing, you know, just to, you know, cut line, whatever I need to do with it, just, you know, because it's just that knife for me for that scenario. But I'm always carrying my Super Commander on me, regardless of what's in my pocket. But amazing knife, guys. And again, Kala, shout out for that beautiful work of art on the thumb disc. Absolutely gorgeous. That American Eagle on there just screams Commander. But definitely check it out, guys. It's out of stock right now, and it's really not a cheap knife at all. I mean, just like any Emerson on there is not cheap, but this bad boy is coming in with the thunderstorm finish. And, you know, I live in North Carolina, so the tax for shipping is like 20 bucks. So I paid around, I'm not going to lie, I mean, right up on $370 for this knife. But I mean, the retail is like $350 maybe. I mean, that makes sense, being 20 bucks more for shipping. But yeah, not a cheap knife. Not a cheap knife at all, but man, you get a lot of knife. But, you know, it's definitely a knife to check out, guys. I highly doubt you'll regret it. Like I said, given you're not shy from carrying a very big knife, which it is. But like I said, it really don't feel that way. Whenever you open it and you carry it for a while and get used to it, it just feels right at home. And you know you have enough knife for any job. And I mean any job that comes at you. Plenty of material on that spine, super thick blade, very wide, extremely wide blade. Like I said, just very versatile, utilitarian, and of course, self-defense. I mean, check out some of the reviews on the Emerson website. There was this guy on there that said that he was walking in New York and some guy tried to rob him for his camera, and he just pulled it out and opened it. And the guy just started running. I'm like, come on now. You're like, you ain't even got to cut nobody. You just open it up and say, hey man, you know, not today, son, not today. And I think in the same review, he said he also like bopped somebody in the head with the non-lethal part of it, which, I mean, like I said, going back to what I said about really majority of Emersons, but they always come, most of them come with that, you know, very pointed, blunt butt of it. And man, let me tell you something. I do not want to get the business end of that, or that for that matter. But great knife, guys. Great self-defense, great utilitarian, and great overall American classic. I hope you guys have an amazing 4th of July coming up this week, and I'll be dropping video 7 soon with whatever comes out of this old boy's pocket next. Hope you guys enjoyed and have an awesome, blessed day.